Hey everyone, welcome to I Watch Movies, where I watch movies, rate them, and get your feedback. Today we'll be talking about 2013 Snowpiercer. Snowpiercer was directed by Bong Joon-ho, excuse me if I didn't say that correctly, and stars Chris Evans, Jamie Bell, John Hurt, and a lot of other great actors. So, this movie takes place in a frozen wasteland of a world where the remaining survivors live on a train. Now, this train never stops. And the only issue is this train has social classes. So you have your foot, which are the lower classes, and they eat protein blocks, which are these big, blocky, disgusting food. They are considered the lowest of the lowest. I mean, they live behind prison and quarantine. So let that sink in. That means they live behind prisoners and sick people. They're the dead last. And then you have your upper class, which are considered the head. They live luxurious lives. They eat what they want. Now, obviously, with these type of movies, you're going to have an issue with the foot and the head. And that's exactly what happened. Chris Evans and his gang have had enough of the way they live and revolt against the head and move their way to the head. But without spoiling much, I want to get into the details on what I liked about this movie. So, what I liked about this movie was the characters, the plot, and the atmosphere. So, the characters did a great job in this movie because I found myself caring for each and every one of them. They all had an important role, and they all had a motive on why they wanted to go to the head or they wanted to stop the foot from coming forward. Everyone has a motive in this movie, and I appreciate it. Now, the plot. The plot of this movie is very entertaining. From beginning to ending, you don't find yourself bored. You find yourself caring for these characters, and you find yourself wondering what a world like this would be and what would you do in their situation. You find yourself asking questions from both sides, and it's your choice to choose if you think they're right or if you think they're wrong for what the foot are doing. Lastly, we have the atmosphere. The atmosphere is genius in this movie because from beginning to ending, it changes. And I found myself at the foot in the beginning feeling claustrophobic, and the scenes were dark, and there were so many people in the back that I understood why they wanted to break free, because there are scenes where you see Chris Evans and his gang in complete darkness. You can't even tell where they're at. And, everyone's stacked up on bunk beds. It's really uncomfortable. And while they move their way up to the head, you start seeing everything brighter. You start seeing that there's enough space in the front for all these people in the back. And you start to see windows, and you start seeing through the windows. And it's just crazy how little you can make someone feel when you take all that away. The foot, literally lives in darkness. And when they see these windows, they are so excited. Imagine getting excited over a window. Yeah, that's powerful. But, even on your way to the head is, I think, one of the brightest rooms. It's that or the children's room. And it's crazy because even the children that are closer to the head live a better life. They go to school while the kids in the back are literally treated like slaves. So you get that atmosphere throughout the whole movie. You switch throughout every compartment, and I thought that was always interesting. I want to get into the mixed aspect of this movie. The only thing mixed were my feelings because I understood both classes. I understood the lower class and the upper class. I understood the lower class wanted to live a better life and move to the head so they can get out of this poverty and get out the situations they're in. But I also understand the upper class because they want to keep everything in control. So in this movie, there's a scene where they're eating sushi. The lower class think that the upper class always eats sushi. But in reality, they don't because they have to keep a control of all the fishes. These fishes live in the aquarium, and if they let too many fishes die, then they'll run out of fishes. But if they let too many live, they will still run out of fishes, which is kind of like a metaphor for them as well. If they let too many lower class people come to the upper class, then they'll run out of all the necessities they need because there's so many people in the upper class. But if you keep a lower class and upper class, you have a balance. Now to the bad parts of this movie. I didn't find that many bad parts. The only thing I could probably complain about is the CGI. And I completely understand because this movie had only like a $40 million budget. But there are some bad CGI scenes where I'm like, okay, I can forgive you because the story's so interesting. But you can obviously tell that's CGI. And it's obvious in some scenes, while in other scenes, it's well, I guess you can say. Like when they're looking out the window, you can kind of tell the outside is fake, but it's good enough to certain scenes. And you're going to see the scene I'm talking about. It's the scene where they find out what the bars are made out of, and you're just like, okay, that looks completely fake. But again, you can forgive it because how good the movie is. So guys, with that being said, that's my review on Snowpiercer. If I had to rate it, I'd give it a 8 out of 10. This movie is a great watch. I highly recommend it to you guys. And if you guys do want to check this movie out, it's available on Netflix, or you can go and be like me, go to Target and buy it because you didn't check Netflix out. And that's okay. But thank you guys. And if you guys enjoyed watching this video, be sure to like, comment, or subscribe, as that means a lot to me. And if you want me to watch anything, be sure to comment down below because I watch movies so you don't have to. Thank you guys.